Welcome everyone to Living with the Times. This week's parsha is Tetzaveh, and it begins with God telling Moshe that Israel should bring to him pure oil in order to light the menorah, the 7-branched candelabrum in the sanctuary. And this menorah and the lighting of it is called a ner tamid. It should be an everlasting light. So there's a question: when we light the menorah in the temple, whose light is it? Does it represent God's light, or does it represent Israel's light? And so anytime you have a question like this, the Jewish answer is always, of course, both of them. But it is true that in one hand, the menorah represents God's light in the world, and also that God puts it into our hands to light the menorah in order that we can become partners with God in the spreading of light in the world. So this expression that it's a ner tamid, an everlasting light. So the numerical value of this term equals 704, which equals Shabbat, in Shabbat. And this alone is just a beautiful idea, that the light of Shabbat is an everlasting light. We're told that the giving of the Shabbat to the Jewish people is an everlasting sign. It's a covenant between God and the Jewish people. And so we know that we usher in Shabbat with lighting candles. Women have this very, very special mitzvah of bringing the light into our homes, bringing Shabbat in. And so this idea of the ner tamid being an everlasting light manifest in Shabbat goes back to the first day of creation, where the main creation that's described is the creation of light. And we're told that this light was hidden. This was a spiritual light, and it was hidden to a future time. But we are living in a future time. Now is the future that was thought about yesterday. And so it never says that the light was taken away. It was hidden. So they asked, well, where was it hidden? So there are a number of answers given. One of them was in the menorah, that the light of the menorah was a vessel, was a channel for this infinite light that was hidden away to be brought back into the world. We're also told that this light was hidden in the Torah and also hidden in Shabbat. So when women light candles, and the almost universal custom is women make a motion like this, and then they close their eyes and make the blessing. So one of the ways we can understand this motion is of bringing infinite light into the Shabbat. That Shabbat is a bridge between physical light, we're lighting physical candles, and the infinite light that was hidden away in the beginning of creation, but it's always accessible. It's always accessible. And so we said ner tamid equals 704, which equals B'Shabbat, in the Shabbat. But if we just look at the numerical value of Shabbat without the B, without the in, the Shabbat equals 702. And when you take a number and you do what's called the inverse number, you read the number backwards. So 702 is 207. 207 equals or, equals light. So here we can see an intrinsic mirror image between Shabbat and light. And again, it gives us a deep understanding of our Shabbos candles, that our Shabbos candles are radiating an infinite light. And how can we see it's an infinite light? Because 207, which equals light, or also equals the term for infinite in Hebrew, Ein Sof. Ein Sof equals 207. So here we see this beautiful idea of Shabbat being a vehicle to access this organuz, this hidden light of creation. So I just want to bless everyone that every Shabbat we open ourselves up to feeling and experiencing the infinite light of God in this world within the bliss of Shabbat.